My father used to say, "Watch this man."
He's been cited by IGN, The Quartering, Timcast, The Daily Wire, Bounding into Comics, and even Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. It's only too bad Valiant beat him to Gutfeld.
Disney insider WDW Pro recently speculated.
Time and time again, he's broken big entertainment news live on the air.
I've been following WDW Pro and his track record for years. If you want to find out what's on the horizon for theme parks, Pro is where you go.
There he goes again. Honey Badger gonna do what Honey Badger gonna do. Scooping and scooping and scooping.
Morty, let's check in on Rian Johnson's new trilogy.
Okay. I bypassed the compressor.
What did you do, Ray? Son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
Now, he was okay, after 6-7 weeks. Okay? They get over it. Kids are resilient like that.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's the standard, what would George do?
I don't want you here.
So sorry, George. I didn't think it would go like this.
Fly, you fools!
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Weird. Stay away from liquor, kids.
I have always liked Cowabunga.
Cowabunga!
Now that's more like it, Mr. Wayne.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
The Force will be with you. Always.
That's how winning is done.
I am vengeance. I am the night.
That's what she said.
I am Batman.
If I won tonight, I would come home and we'd celebrate. Well, I'm coming home, we're celebrating. God bless you all.
Watch your habits, for they become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. What we think, we become.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in just 2 minutes, the lighting at the Magic Kingdom will dim for the performance of the Pro Show. We hope you enjoy and have a magical, truthful time. For the safety of others, please, no flash photography. And welcome to Provision 3D.
Alright everyone, put on your coffee glasses. Oh boy,
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
You know that you've been taught the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Yes, Paul.
Autobots, roll out.
I'm bringing the party to you.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money.
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
We're gonna do it!
Leroy Dragon! Alright, it's time to go to school, son. Come on, get your hands up, man!
Are you okay?
They'll never take
of freedom!
From the redwoods of California to the hills of Tennessee to the Rockies in the Sunshine State and Maine with that bright and shining sea. From coast to coast in North America, it's time for your host with the most, bringing you all the entertainment news that should be fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the show that explains entertainment and gives journalists the next day's headlines. It's the Pro Show Live!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fantabulous show we have prepared for you. And yet again, news breaking before the show that simply means we have to reset the programming because the news never stops, and neither do we. Oh, who was that in that bottom corner there? Did we see a drifting Kathy?
I got infestation, Pro. I can't control it. I'm sorry.
Oh, please, folks, help Steven out. If you see, oh, no, there it went again. Oh, it is real here, folks. It is real here. I'm going to move you over here to get, that infection away from the ladies. No, you get out of here. You get out of here, Kathy. You get out. Folks, we apologize. We'll get the infestation fixed. Want to say a major shout out to those of you who were doing the membership giftings, the super chats as we're getting started. Folks, we're about to top 300 in the chat today. And we are excited to have each and every single one of you. Let's welcome our panelists. They are, of course, extraordinaire. We have Erika from Erika and Raph. Erika, welcome aboard.
Hello.
We have Lorena Creole, the effervescent Evermore. Lorena, how are you?
I'm doing well, doing great. Just got back from a BOGO run at Publix, so I'm in a real good mood.
Hey, gotta love Publix. Those of you who are not in Publix regions, we apologize.
Yeah.
And we have JFG, Fat Steven, the artist who has an infection, but he's bringing the most to this party. Steven, how are you? Oh, no!
I need cream, but I'm doing well. It's nice to see you guys. How you guys
I don't think cream is going to stop her. You need
a shovel.
I don't know. Maybe that would work. That would work. Use the bucket if you need to, Steven. Use the bucket. All right, folks, as I said, as we were going live, we got some breaking news that we're happy to bring to you. It's going to be a stacked show, only going, though, for 90 minutes. At the end of 90 minutes, we're going to switch over to member-exclusive content. So we're going to have a pro lounge. We haven't done one of those in a while. And everybody who's not a member is going to be going over to Vacation Radio, where they will be premiering the Labor Day set list with 5 new songs for Vacation Radio. So very exciting stuff. But, folks, as we get ready to get started, we need to go ahead and bring up those wonderful super chats because you are here and you are part of the show. No doubt about it. So let's get started. And here we go. Packing Protons for 5. Glad my memory of previous rumors last Thursday didn't prematurely end the Pro Show. Republic. Yes, Packing Protons, you have been on fire lately. And in fact, Packing Protons, if you can believe it, you are part of the fun as we get started today. You helped us out with finding out a major story. So thank you, Packing Protons. John Maynard with a fantastic 20 WDW Pro memberships, making sure that so many of you out there get to join in the fun of that exclusive live stream for members. Thank you, John Maynard. And that's not all. Take a look at this. Also, we have Chipmunk of Vengeance coming in with 50, a huge piece of support here for the Pro Channel. Thank you so much for helping us keep those nuclear-powered hamsters and chipmunks running like they should. And folks, the fun is just getting started because take a look at this. We've got a gifted membership from Samuel Maine, greatly appreciated. And then somebody apparently has been doing some root canals. Someone is building bridges, not only in the dental industry, but also in the space of the YouTubes. Is that a bad joke? Well, that depends on the listener. Folks, look at this. Staccato DDS. The hero you need, the hero you deserve. With not 150, but with 250. Well, 100, not 250. 100. You get the idea. It's 250s, okay? 250s, but it's not 250. It's I apologize, folks. That's terrible. That's terrible. All right, you know what's not terrible? Celebrating the right way as we get started with these wonderful people who have been doing such great and kind things for all of us. Let's get a party going. All right. Tremendous kindness flowing through the gates right here. Folks, we have the greatest audience and the greatest supporters flat out on the YouTubes. And oh, by the way, did we mention the highest IQ to boot? All right, let's see what else we've got. We've got Packing Protons back with 5. Also, Switch 2 specs supposedly released. Well, Packing Protons, that's what I'm talking about. You have given us the early leak, and we're going to be bringing that to everybody. Can't wait. Thank you, Packing Protons. Daniel89, fan favorite out there, $5. Cue the, let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin clip. I think that one is not to us, but to the one Amandla. And yes, that is a big story. There's also another huge story that broke before the show. I can't wait to show it to all of you out there. We also have John, JID 9994199, powered to the 199 out there. Disney AEW gatekeepers are one in the same. Indeed, well, they are coalescing in entertainment and in the political realm together to try to prevent society and the market from speaking out and making their own decisions. Kenneth LaRock says, hey, all, member for 11 months. Happy to see you out there, Kenneth LaRock, and happy that you've been a member consistently for so long. Greatly appreciated. Juliet, member for 2 months. Hi, Epic Pro and Priorities. Yes, well, Epic Pro may be the new name I have to take on after Epic Universe opens. I may not be WDW Pro anymore. I may be Epic Pro because there's an Epic Place coming down the pike.
No.
Sorry, yes, Stephen, you may have to make
No.
And Mrs. Spooky for $20. It's a super sticker, and it's a beautiful super sticker indeed. It is the dancing pair with the cane and the hat, because the dancing pair without a cane or a hat would just not be really a dancing pair. We've also got Blue Yoshi Girl for $2, dropping in there and saying it's not white privilege, it's LGBTQIA plus negative sign, greater than sign, dollar sign, entitlement. And yes, indeedly, doodly, let's get started with the newsly. All right, folks, it is time. And wow, how are we going to pack all of this into 90 minutes? Well, folks, leave it to the professionals. All right, here we go. Starting off with what we have here regarding the Nintendo Switch 2. Steven, have you heard about this yet? Have you heard anything about the Nintendo Switch 2?
No, not yet. No, I've been out of the loop for the Switch.
Well, lucky for you, Packing Protons is coming through for all of us. Take a look at this, Stephen. Here we have it, folks. You may have to get out your magnifying glass because there's a lot to read here. But luckily, I have the eyesight of at least an ostrich. Do they have good eyesight? I don't know. But if they do, I have that. If not, reconsider the aviary identity. All right, here's what we have from CentroLeaks. And this is coming to us by way of Packing Protons. All but confirmed for the Nintendo Switch. Screen will be 8 inches, LCD, at least one launch model. It's going to use DLSS version 3.5, 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5X RAM, 256 gigabytes of internal storage. That's good. We'll use magnets to attach the new Joy-Con in some way. Folks, make sure you keep those magnets away from the screen, though. Won't go well. We'll be completely backwards compatible with original Switch games. That's wonderful. 4K support while docked, and uses new NVIDIA Tegra T239. One thing, too, folks, having it do 4K when it's docked makes perfect sense because no matter the screen size, you need a big screen for 4K to matter. And if you are 12 inches or 24 inches, whatever, from the screen and it's 8 inches in size, 4K just does not matter. All right, so that's the Switch news out of the way. Let's get to this, though, folks, because back to Disney, we got a problem. Lorena, this is a situation that seems to not get any better. And then after we cover this one, folks, we're gonna get to the big two stories, I promise. And they're wowza, are they big stories? All right. Communicore Hall opens as food and merchandise location for 2024 Epcot Food and Wine Festival. Lorena, you've been in the Communicore Hall. What's your take on this beautiful, wonderful airport lounge?
Oh my gosh, I've seen college dining halls that look way better than this. Just for folks who don't know, all of the cool edutainment stuff like disaster and learning how to more efficiently use like our landfill space how colors affect people's moods, how to save for important things. All that edutainment is gone. And in place, we have got, I don't even want to insult airport concourses and call them this is horrible.
There's like a food bank.
But Lorena, we were told that that this was just temporary. We were told that this is actually, in reality, a festival space. And so the Imagineers, they're not terrible at what they do. They were just leaving this as a blank slate that then guests would come to love, not hate. We just had to hang in there long enough for them to actually do what they're going to do. Well, folks, the festival is here. Erika, let me show you what they've done with the place. You're going to love it. This is by Mike over on Blog Mickey. Of course, Mike is and shall forever be known as the guy who told us that Tiana's Bayou Adventure is the downgrade, the necessary downgrade that we had to have. The vision of Communicore Hall is fully realized now that a festival is underway at Epcot. Today is the start of the 2024 Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. The Flex Space, that's what we call it now, the Flex Space, is being utilized as a merchandise and food location. We stopped by this morning to check it out. Here's a look around. All right, let's see what we got, folks. How did they transformify it this time? Communicore Hall, there's the outside, looks the same. Well, would you look at that, Lorena? Take a gander, Eric, at this beauty. What did they do with the space? They literally rolled in. They literally rolled in racks that you would find at the dollar store. Yes, they rolled them in with random merchandise, and that is it.
I'm going to add something else to this. Are any of you familiar with the term a pop-up store?
Yeah. Especially around the holidays, like spirits and stuff.
Yeah, it's like they'll pop up, but they'll have like these cool backdrops and all kinds of stuff going on. You would never know that this thing popped up out of nowhere. This is like dollar store pop-up shop where they just roll the merchandise in, and that's supposed to do it.
Lorena, it looks like a garage sale in a college cafeteria.
I was just going to say yard sale. It's exactly what it reminds me
of. And even worse than that.
Or what the racks they have a Goodwill or Salvation Army.
This is the wait a minute. What if I told you all that they're serving macaroni and cheese? I mean,
I heard about that earlier. I was watching one of the vloggers earlier today, the daily ones or live stream.
Listen, Erika, this is fancy stuff. I mean, look at this. I mean, they have actual signs that say food and wine. There are mobile queue turnstiles going. They've got ropes. I mean, this is something now. Look at this. How dare you all say that they have skimped on the theming? This to me looks like classic.
No theming in that whatsoever. Cast Connections looks better than that.
This looks like a funeral for Hot Topic.
Oh my gosh. Was it Character Warehouse? I don't even want to embarrass Character Warehouse because that place looks amazing compared to this out here.
Yeah.
Are you saying, Lorena, that Character Warehouse has character while this does not?
Yes.
So let me ask you all then. Okay, so Communicore.
There's so much you could have done with that space, and
well, there was so much that was there before they bulldozed it down. But Communicore was promised to be this thing that was going to get better over time, right? So here's my question. This reminds me of Tiana's, by the way. My question is, given the track record that we are seeing here, given how terrible this looks, I mean, this should be an embarrassment to anyone who's ever called themselves an Imagineer.
Wait, Imagineer?
Do you think?
There's no imagination.
Do you think that this is the final straw in letting us all know that they do not need to tear down the Rivers of America, Tom Sawyer Island, a quarter of the Magic Kingdom, and replace it with a Cars off-brand, hey, look, it's a reference to planes, what would you say, discount store Radiator Springs?
They don't have to do that. All they have to do is get a secondary boat and put rollout racks on the boat, and people can shop while going around the river.
Oh gosh! Don't give them any ideas.
Why did they could have gutted out the Galactic Cruiser and put stuff in here to make it look more.
They could take the Galactic Cruiser and turn it into a Spirit Halloween store. That's what they should do.
Hey, don't insult Spirit Halloween.
That's yeah.
Better than the Galactic
Spirit
Star
Halloween.
Cruiser.
People look forward to the Spirit of Halloween. Like, what store's going out of business? So we know where the Spirit of Halloween.
Yeah,
store is.
exactly. And what are they theming in this year? Like this year's like a clown thing, but yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh, I cannot wait for them to
sad.
fill in the rivers of America, tear down Tom Sawyer Island, and replace it with something on the level of Communicore. That is what we need to be saying. by
That's
the
what
way.
I'm
So,
expecting, honestly.
Yes, well, what we need to say is when everybody is all excited about, oh, they're going to tear it down, they're going to replace it with cars, and guess what? Tom Sawyer Island is so irrelevant, it's so out of date. What we need to say is, yes, you're right. I, for one, cannot wait for another Communicore, and that will be the answer to these people. By the way, take a look, Lorena. This is day one. This is the day when everybody should be at the festival at Epcot, having a wonderful time, enjoying the international foods, the treats, the sweets, the snacks, and all of the delicacies. Does it look crowded to you by any chance, Lorena? Is this what you would expect on day one of the festival?
No. Usually the festivals, they're crowded the first day. Everybody's trying to check out the food locations and crawling all over the merch, especially eBay resellers. This is not what you would expect. And let me contrast this to the annual pass holder event opening of the Halloween Horror Nights tribute store. The line for that in the morning was crazy packed to try to get in there. And when I was there, I was, talking with some of the other vloggers. Nobody's talking about food and wine. Everybody's talking about being at Halloween Horror Nights on Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. And Lorena, you're going to be there, right? You're going to be at the Halloween Horror Nights.
Yes, I will be there Friday and Saturday for the opening weekend. Yes.
Well, can folks plan to join you for those live streams?
I sure hope so. I hope so. I'm hoping to get 100 people watching at least. So
That's the only way you're gonna
do.
get me in there because I'm not going in scared.
Erika is not a Halloween person. No, everyone in her crew, all of her fam knows. Don't do Halloween near her. No.
I love Halloween. I just don't like Halloween Horror Nights. It scares the bejesus out of me.
She loves Halloween. Steven, you love mac and cheese, though. It's a well-known fact.
Is that a fat joke?
Oh.
No, it's a cheese joke. It's a very cheesy.
Oh, so you're calling me cheesy, like Chester.
I can't say any less than that. You've had Kathleen Kennedy flying around your head.
I have no control over it. I have no control over that. Sorry.
Yes, well, that's the spookiest thing of all, honestly.
It is that scary.
You're better off just forking out the money, coming out here to Europe, and go to the real Food and Wine, because Food and Wine season is now. It starts in late August and it goes through October. You got the wine festivals that start first, and then it leads into Oktoberfest. And it's
Erika, we're all terrified to come to Europe now. They're arresting people just for putting social media posts up. It's the UK that scares us the most.
Did they say who actually designed this place? Because I feel like they just got fired from a theater lobby system, and this is what it looks like. Like, if you look at this, it looks like we're going to get your popcorn, your treats before you go sit down in the theater. Like, this whole venue setup is very abstract and like
it looks like a mall, food court.
Lorena, who was the Imagineer who was posting nonstop? He was in charge of the Epcot redo. Do you remember his name?
I was just about to mention him, Mr. Chaz Ridley.
That's right, Mr. Ridley himself. Lorena, do you think that this might have anything to do with some of the Imagineers no longer being available to audiences to connect with?
I would believe so, yes.
I would think that is true. Folks, you know what else might cause Disney to want to hide? Remember I mentioned an ostrich at the start of the show? Mentioned that I had the vision of an ostrich. I don't know. They may have great vision. It may be terrible. Well, Disney has the neck inclination of an ostrich. Pro, what in the world are you talking about? Well.
Yikes.
Folks, take a look at the number down at the bottom. This is the news you need. Take a look at that. I have never Galifianakis get on my screen. I got rid of him. Galifianakis
That was Talk about annihilation. 81,000 to 1 million. Golly.
It has happened. Rachel Zegler is somehow less popular than Amanda Stenberg and the Acolyte. Rachel Zegler, star of the upcoming Snow White movie, has now achieved a 1 million dislike. Let me say it again, a 1 million dislike. And we said this was going to be a 10-to-1 negative to positive. It's just slightly more than that, but passing 1 million dislikes.
Can I have a hug? Give me a hug. No way. Come here. I'm not coming over there. Let's go. Forget it. Pronto. What are you doing?
Why?
All right. So 1 million dislikes, and here's what I need. Panelists, tell me why. How did this happen? How can any trailer be this unlikable?
I know.
Share,
I
please.
know. I know.
Go
I can't
for
raise
it.
my hand. Her recent comments. I'm guessing it had to do with her recent comments with a certain free something. I'm not going to get any more into it, but I'm guessing it had to do with that and the reactions because of that. Am I close?
I think so. It also appears to me that this is a horrific looking mutant CGI monstrosity that, well, it's just, I don't know how people are, I mean, look at this. Look at this. How can you possibly stand a full movie of this?
Why
are the dwarves cleaning the freaking house?
Why are they whistling while they
because
work?
She told them to.
Oh, God.
She's an authoritarian.
Yeah.
So just look, okay, let's pause it here. What? Who in their right mind said, you know what? We should make Snow White's world look like Mordor. Like, who came up with this?
Why does
Look
Snow
at
White
this
look like
horrible place.
Why does Snow White look like Lord Farquaad's haircut on a tangent?
Yeah.
You know,
I think it looks worse because if you notice, and Erika and I've talked about this before on my show in the Spice Lounge, her collar is supposed to be way higher than that.
Ooh.
And her hair should be a little longer and curled around the bottom, like the curl. I don't know what they called that style back in like the 50s or 30s. 30s, yeah.
well, I think that they're going to use all kinds of horrible lighting. And I can't even, I've been clicking.
That's terrible.
I apologize, folks. I'm clicking like a madman trying to find a single frame that is clear. But this actually is a great example because the only time we get clarity, the apple is clear because it's real. When I click on to Gal Gadot's scenes, they're clear because she's real. When I click on anything to do with Snow White or the dwarfs, that's the best. We're stopping there. That's the best I can do. You know why there's not clarity? Because what they are doing with this movie is they are purposefully, in my opinion, overusing motion blur, terrible lighting, and a brown fade over everything to try to hide how bad the CGI is and to mix her in with it. The motion blur is intended to keep you from noticing just how terrible, uncanny valley this is. Anyone have a different take on why it would be so difficult to get a normal shot out of this?
Well, that makes sense on that you put it that way because when me and Lorena were talking about this when it was released on her show, we had brought up the observation her dress is so yellow. It's just, gosh. And I had mentioned, had they given her like a more of a cream colored bodice instead of that bright yellow to somewhat go with the background colors. But
okay, so Erika, let's
terrible.
Walk us through then the outfit, the costume, because from a male's perspective, to me, it looks like this outfit that she's wearing is atrocious. It does absolutely nothing to give her any kind of figure or positivity. Okay, walk us through why that is exactly.
Well, for one, she's not graceful. Snow White was always graceful, and oh my God, the way she presents herself and she twirls, her movements are too sharp. And some of the dancing in
she's more like Anna out of Frozen. That's
yeah,
what
there's some movements where they're just very sharp and it's almost like a semi hip hop move. And she's not gliding like a ballerina. Snow White was graceful. And then her voice look, she's got a great voice. I will give her that. But for the role, her voice is just too strong and too bold, unless they just didn't train her on how to soften her voice, or maybe she can't. I don't know. And in the costume, in the Snow White cartoon, she didn't have long sleeves, and I get that can be neither here or there. But it's just the whole setting. The dress doesn't go with the setting, even though it's a Snow White dress, but there's just more to wearing a dress, for a girl than just Lorena, help me out here. You're
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt you. Role.
It looks bland.
Any Disney princess film that has come out, what is the number one thing that little girls want when they see those movies? They want the dress.
Yeah.
Belle had a gorgeous, gorgeous dress. Sleeping Beauty had a gorgeous dress. I'm talking about animation. Even with the live action Cinderella, that dress was absolutely
But her movement, with the way she moved in that movie, she knew how to move with the dress.
Exactly.
And she nailed. I had heard they only had to do one take because it was done so perfectly, and she was graceful. Like, I don't know if she's got ballet training, the actress that did Cinderella, but oh my gosh,
Probably. That's what I'm thinking, because as a former dancer, when you do dress rehearsals, the reason why you do dress rehearsals with these dresses on, so that you get accustomed to the extra weight and how the dress goes in with your performance, and you kind of modify that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you go back to the 1937 cartoon, like you were saying, Snow White is very, very graceful in her movements. Her voice is very mellow and very soothing. But
soft.
with Rachel Ziegler, it's, her voice is really sharp. The songs have more of a hip hop designation than a classical designation, which is a real issue. I don't like this modification or hip hopification of a lot of these classic tunes. But that's what you have going on here. The dress doesn't look right. The dress is this really hideous shade of yellow. It looks cheap. It looks like something they threw together. It looks like something you could get at Party City. No insult to Party City, but it doesn't look like something someone would buy. And Erika, remember during our stream,
I was just going to bring that up. We went on Google Images and we looked up the cosplay costumes. If you just go on Google Images and type in Snow White costume, and there are people out there that have designed much better Snow White dresses than what the film has.
I'm sorry, but even sexy Snow White costumes at Party City look better than this.
Yes, they do.
I want to approach this from a different way. When you're talking about the trailer, though, quickly, like how, because I do the thumbnails and stuff. These types of Disney trailers that have this motion blurring and like color palette put over top, it's really hard to screen grab as well, because they always look blurry, and it's very hard sometimes in editors to get to look clearing just to use an image out of it. The purposefully is done, and it doesn't invite people to actually enjoy it when you're using so many like matted or flat colors to try to show something that is about a princess that is literally Snow White, like it is a brightness within herself. They're taking that away at the same time. You're talking about the gracefulness of how she acts and dances. The grace of her whole story seems to be downplayed as well, just to highlight what.
Well, yeah, and
it is.
When you're looking
Erika.
at the song, she's got this very, attitude, because she's essentially teaching and telling the dwarves how to clean. And she's literally, through the song, pawning the chores off to them.
Whereas in the original, she thinks they're orphaned children, and she's cleaning the house to be kind.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. And it's a complete opposite, and it shows. It even shows in her acting. She's got this very like snarky. It comes through in her acting, and it's just
sending.
So let me ask you this: watching the trailer, except for that one part right there, about 5 seconds of the dwarfs with the sun behind them, this looks to me like Snow White in the Temple of Doom. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
You're not.
So you're saying
it looks like Snow White in the Temple of Doom. It looks like she's about to try to throw the ring into the volcano and Gollum is going to come out and get her, except she appears to be the Gollum in this movie. So it very much, by the way, looks like Rings of Power. This is, in my opinion, a dead on arrival movie with something like a $500 million budget.
Yeah.
So let's talk box office. Considering this has hit now a 1 million dislike number on YouTube, do you all believe that this thing is going to absolutely fail at the box office, or do you think this is going to be one of those films that is so disliked that it's like Rebecca Black's Friday, where people can't help but go watch it?
No, this thing is going to go to hell on a handbasket with gasoline underwear on. I mean, it's so not appealing.
I give it 1 to 2 months before it's gone to Disney.
I think people are just so disgusted with Ziegler and then Disney in general. And it's just such a massive offense to, you know, Walt and the original Snow White. There's just too many factors that lead me to believe it's just going to flop. It might be the biggest flop of the year.
Do you think it's going to do worse than Little Mermaid?
Well, it has a budget of $500 million. Little Mermaid had something like a $330 million budget. So it has to. Yes, it has to be a bigger flop. In fact, at this point, we have to start considering that this could be the biggest flop in the history of cinema, which would take it away from number 2, which will be number 2, The Marvels, and number 3, Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny. So you will have Disney clearly at the top 3, no doubt about it. The Flash had been in contention, but Disney will knock that right out of the top 3 spots. You'll have Snow White. I don't know how many hundreds of millions it's going to lose, but it's a bunch. Followed by The Marvels, which is excess of $200 million. And then Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny, right at $200 million in losses. Here's the other thing to talk about, as it has crossed 1 million dislikes on YouTube. The other thing to talk about is this. We watched as Disney had a win this year. Let's take one of those wins. Inside Out 2. This movie, Snow White, is so bad that it could cut out almost all of the profits from Inside Out 2. That is how bad we are looking at in terms of a flop. So Disney had a win, and they're about to lose it all with Rachel Zegler and the 1 million dislikes. Final thoughts on this topic before we go into a Mandela panel. What do you think?
Ladies first.
I was just going to say, visually speaking, maybe it would have been a little better had they given her a different shade of yellow in her gown. And I know that doesn't save the film at all.
Well, the C-suite has a different color of yellow on all their pantsuits right now. After seeing these million dislikes, lots of yellow in the C-suite.
This film is such an insult to folks who loved the 1937 original. That original was a gold standard for a reason, from storytelling, from animation, and even to this day, just watching it, just how much of a triumph it was, and a story that everyone could relate to. So now they're going to change all of that to, instead of having a Snow White who is very thankful and grateful and unselfish, to this selfish mess.
Is this the end of Zegler's career, Serena?
It'll sink it for a while, I think, for a little while, and then she'll come back, and if she's smart, she'll know stop insulting the people who go to see the films.
I think you might see her pop up on like a Netflix series, or you might see her on a Hallmark channel, something or another. I don't think that she's going to get another shot at a big leading role in a movie after this one. Whether it's her fault or not, like, this movie is a train wreck in every possible way, but she's never had a win. She's never succeeded at the box office. And those who say, oh, well, look at the Hunger Games. Yeah, go look at the other Hunger Games and see what hers did and compare those box offices. The drop off is insane. So anyway. All right, folks. Well, it's time to get to those super chats. Once again, folks, you out there, the highest IQ audience on the internet, and you deserve to be seen. So let's make it be as it should be. This is from Big Gator 5 for $5. Did anyone watch Grace Randolph's, well, hello, Acolyte Copium stream? Great idea. Anybody watch Grace on that one? I haven't seen what Grace did with the Copium. Anybody?
I have not.
I can't handle her voice.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Her voice, there's so much of her voice I can take.
I prefer
All right, folks. Well, in that case, let's bring on Grace Randolph. She's our next guest. Steven, you're going to love it. Oh, no.
All right, awesome.
One
I
day,
got my ear cubes.
one day we'd love to host Grace and have her on the channel. I think it would be a very interesting conversation. And who knows? But a long time ago, I think Grace did block that Park Place on Twitter. So we'll have to cross some divisions, perhaps. I don't know. But love to every YouTuber out there. Everybody's welcome, with a very few exceptions. Only those who are vitriolic and cannot have a decent conversation are disallowed from the Pro Channel. Greg E. became a YouTube member, and we're happy to have you and see you because you're going to be joining us, we hope, for the member-exclusive Pro Lounge at 6:30 p.m., slightly less than an hour from now. King of the Monsters, 1954 for $4.99. Rachel Zegler looks like a skinny Hispanic dude, a muchacho cosplaying as Snow White. Oh, poor Rachel. Poor Rachel. That's
I could kind of see it.
Well, it's the dress. It's got to be the dress.
No,
Charge
it's
of the
the
comic.
hair.
No, Zegler. Yeah, well, Farquaad.
He's a
Charge of the
national
comic
treasure.
number 2. Yeah. Once upon a time, they had better Snow White dresses. Once upon a time, in a franchise long, long ago, a company far, far away, where dresses could be made. We got Blue Yoshi Girl back with 2. Watch the Sonic 3 trailer. Sega does what Disney don't. Oh, shots fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the Sonic 3 trailer is the absolute opposite of the Snow White trailer in terms of popularity. In fact, panel, let me get your thoughts on that, and I'll pull up the Sonic 3 trailer. Let's see how it's doing, like to dislike. Your thoughts on this while I grab that.
I was sold seeing Jim Carrey slap his fat pork belly and just that I was sold. As soon as I saw that, then the mustache, then he's hugging his dad. I was like, all right, I'm in.
It's prime Jim Carrey, and I don't care for Jim Carrey's politics necessarily. He's too abrasive, but man, that was straight out of The Grinch when he's slapping his gut again.
Oh my gosh, it was perfect. It reminded me of his time on In Living Color, where I swear he's
Gosh, taking it way back.
Yeah.
That was a great show.
It's vanilla.
So how is
I miss shows
Sonic,
like that.
How is Sonic doing versus Snow White? Well, all right, I would say 368,000 likes to 1.8 thousand dislikes. Sonic 3 only having come out 2 days ago. So if this plays out, you could see Sonic pass the 1 million like, and it would have let's see, about 5,000 dislikes. So 1 million likes to 5,000 dislikes. Pretty darn good ratio. We would expect to see in about 5 to 7 days. Folks, if you've not seen this trailer, it is tremendous. I don't know. Should we play the Sonic trailer just so we have a comparison? I don't know.
Play a little bit of it, because this trailer is really worth it. And remember, folks, Sonic listened to the fans when the first trailer came out for the first movie.
And then Disney took that terrible Disney took that terrible model and said, we can outdo that with our dwarves. Hang tight. All right, folks,
watch this.
Paramount, this is free advertising for you. Here comes the blue blur. Here comes the master of blast processing.
Sonic, you finally found your family.
Try to keep up.
I know it hasn't always been easy, but you didn't change who you are in here.
Yeah, in my lungs.
Or your heart.
That is so cool.
There's been a high-level security breach. And we need Team Sonic's immediate assistance. Project Shadow is far beyond anything we've ever encountered.
Oh, love Keanu's
Shadow's
voice.
story began a lot like yours, Sonic. But where you found family and friends, Shadow found only pain and loss.
All right, we got a rogue alien on the loose. How do we find it?
Start with the giant fireball?
I love it. Let's start with a giant fireball.
This is such a good family movie.
Much more impressive than the hedgehog I fought previously.
It's like Avengers for little kids.
I'm standing right here.
Yes.
You're a colorful bunch.
We don't want to
I
fight
love
you.
Idris.
Actually, Sonic, I would like to fight.
No. My turn. Can we just talk about this?
I want some popcorn now.
This is now 2 blue properties Disney does not own and wishes they did.
You know, the kid in me just wants to be Sonic watching this.
But we need you know who.
This is a bad idea.
When has that ever stopped me?
That's true.
Yes!
Yes!
Dear visitors, this is sad, Robotnik, even for you.
We need your help.
On one condition.
Do this! If I can't rule the world,
I might as well save it.
Oh my gosh.
Sir, I don't have the proper
He plays
materials.
Robotnik so well.
Found some.
When we're done, there won't be anything left.
Hey, no cheat codes. What did you do?
What I had to.
All right, let's get real. If you're making a Sonic 3 trailer and you want to get families to come see your movie and you want to beat Mufasa, you can't make a better trailer than that. It's literally a perfect trailer for marketing. It's literally a perfect trailer. It's amazing. Give whoever made the trailer, give them 100,000. They deserve it. They earned it.
It's pretty much the Mortal Kombat for this generation that we got back in the 90s. That's pretty much what.
Masterpiece. All right. Continuing right along. Tennille 89, and by the way, talking about masterpieces, we'll get to Amandla right after these. Tennille 89 for 5 says, never say never. Maybe they can spin this by claiming it's meant as the first movie for blind people, and we're just eyesight prejudice or something.
Oh,
Yep, your dislike, your distaste for CGI monstrosities, it's part of the patriarchy. Get over it. Tennille back again with 5. These things often start as they mean to go on, and if we recall, production started with the set burning down. That's a bad omen, eh? A bad omen. And guess what, folks? If you want a good omen, we have more invitations to the Pro Lounge member exclusive segment coming up in about 40 minutes, because William Thompson has gifted 20 WDW Pro memberships, and we have 10 gifted memberships from Tender Warrior. So kind, so amazing. Let's dance. You know, we hadn't played that in so long, and we needed to. We needed to. A good palate cleanser with a reminder of how good Tropic Thunder was. Staccato DDS, the dentist with the mostest, back again with another fitty. We love the support that Staccato brings. According to Rachel, that being the Zeglinator, this was written for today. I don't think she wants to be objectified as a beautiful princess. Mission accomplished, Staccato, or they wouldn't have given her that haircut and dress. We're going to have a name for the dress. We've already got the Farquad. So, ladies, you think about what the dress should be called. But why have a beautiful stepmother pondering about the fairest of them all? Well, that's a great question. Why would you get Gal Gadot to pretend like she's jealous of Zegler? It's just never, ever going to work. Anyway, Staccato, thank you so much. Pamela, any thoughts on that before? We'll bring that back up. I was a bit hasty. Any thoughts on that one? Ish.
I'm still trying to think of another name for the ugly dress.
I don't know. Yellow snot?
That's a good one.
Farquad and the yellow snot.
How about the AliExpress?
Or phlegm.
The yellow
Ooh, I like that.
Flip and phlegm. The yellow flip and phlegm with the Farquad do. There we go.
Phlegm Zegler. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Staccato. You've inspired us now to go with Flim Zegler. And back for 2. Old Botnik kind of looked like Dr. Wily. Well, a little bit. It's a reference to Sonic Adventure 2, and I believe the Sonic Adventure 2 reference originally was a reference to Dr. Wily. So very cool. And official drags for 2. Supongo que mi amiga Erika no traga. Ha ha ha. Hola. Erika, ¿qué dice? ¿Qué dice usted, Erika?
Que no traga. Ajá. No, I'm fine.
Está muy bien, okay. All right. Moviendo. Here we go. All right, folks, it's time to get to the main story today. Oh, wait, no, we've got one more super chat that came in. Let's grab it while we can. David Fitzsimmons for 5. Who else is fully expecting that girl touching Shadow's tank in the Sonic trailer to suffer a tragic accident of some sort?
Yeah. I'm putting my money on the fact that he bonds with her and they do something to her and that just breaks him. Why he's just so the way he is. So yeah, I don't think she's going to be long for this world. Either they yeet her, which I don't think they're going to do because it's a Sonic movie. They may let her think that she's dead.
A jaded hedgehog.
Yes,
that is Shadow. Folks, talking about jaded, we have a young woman who is jaded at the world, jaded at the results of what has happened. And this is just the sort of time before we get into this story that I should hawk some merchandise real quick. Hey, folks, check out this. It's the Thread is Dead shirt. You requested it, so we've got it for you. The Thread is Dead. Bring back the Force. Check out that t-shirt over at the Pro Store. And oh, by the way, if you are a member of the channel above the entry level, so level 2 and above, well, you have a discount code that goes through Labor Day. So happy Labor Day weekend, folks. Enjoy the Thread is Dead. Bring back the Force merch while you can. All right, now back to Stenberg. Here we go. All right, out of thatparkplace.com. If you're not yet bookmarked to the website, well, you should be. Amanda Stenberg confirms the Acolyte is canceled and proceeds to blame a rampage. I believe that's how you pronounce rampage, right? A rampage of hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol. Stenberg, the actress who played May and a federal agency called OSHA in The Acolyte, confirmed that the show was canceled and then proceeded to blame a rampage of hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol for why the show was canceled. In a video uploaded to her Instagram stories, Stenberg stated, "Our show, our Star Wars show, has been canceled. I'm going to be transparent and say it's not a huge shock for me." Folks, it's probably not a shock when you decide to make a rap song that you pretend was done in 3 days when it's obvious even just traveling to the location would have taken more time. When you attack the fans in that such a way with the "don't blake around with our discourse," I'm going to say that you had a good idea it was going to be canceled, that you were a part of it. But if we could be so kind and so bold, folks, would you join with us as we play the full interview with Amanda Stenberg that she did all on her lonesome, an autobiographic interview, party of one. We'll pause it. We'll give our thoughts. Panel, get ready, because this is the doozy everyone's been waiting for. Provided to us by Stephanie, and we want to thank Stephanie at My Nerdy Home. If people want to follow, just like at Now It's Known, Mac, Stephanie has sort of stepped up into the spotlight. I've been seeing fantastic stuff. Putting all of these together for us is wonderful. It's a wonderful resource. So thank you, Stephanie. If you're out there in the audience, we're sending you a special kudos. Folks, flood the chat with kudos, please. And we'll get started and get underway. All right, here it is, turning up the volume so you can hear her. She is meek. She is timid, but she is here with the words that she wants you to hear and know.
I thought I would get on here and just speak candidly. I hate doing it.
Lorena, she hates doing this. She so prefers to make full-on rap videos with great, angled choreography and lyrics, and she hates being on social media. Lorena, do you buy it for a second?
If she hated doing this, she wouldn't have done this in the first place.
That's right. Have you ever seen anybody do a video where they're like, "I hate doing this," and they're putting their finger in an electric outlet? No, because that would be stupid. That would be stupid. By the way, I just want to say she's going to play the victim here. The background is a little difficult to see, but let's just say that the molding on the wooden structures behind her are not cheap. I think that's fair to say. And the 14-foot high ceilings do not seem to indicate victimhood, but she'll play the part. Here we go.
I hate doing this, but I'm going to do it. I don't use social media very much.
Wow. Really?
girl, please.
I got time for that.
Nope.
All right. Well, she doesn't use social media very much. Here we go.
Anymore.
And I'm so happy about that.
Then why did you stop? Because we were so happy.
Yeah. Why is that?
There are many folks out there that I want to acknowledge and I want to show appreciation and love and support for. So that's why I'm hopping on here.
One more thing. Amandla has a vast array of resources. She's doing her hair. She's working on her hair here in this semi-interview with the world. Lorena, I'm betting that she actually has a team that helps her with hair and makeup on a daily basis. I bet she has a PR manager. I bet that there's somebody recording her. I bet that it's not just her phone sat on a table. What do you make of the whole way that this has been portrayed?
I'm going to say this first, and granted, this is just me, but I think that I'm in the majority. If you're a Black woman doing your hair, you're not really broadcasting this to the world.
That's what I'm thinking. I think she's trying to make it look like she's doing anything and everything else. She's not even paying attention. Like, I think that's what the intent is behind it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm just like you. I do my own hair. No, honey. Considering I used to live in LA among you people, you're having someone else do your hair. Or you're having someone else come to your house to do that.
What's the cost? What would you anticipate would be the cost for someone doing her hair?
Depends on who she gets or how good they are. I mean, you can go to the hood and get it done for like $50.
She's not paying $50.
Or if you want to get someone who's
Lorena, the only time she goes to the hood is to make a music video attacking fans.
And it depends what she's having done too.
Yeah, because it could be anywhere from like, ballpark figure, anywhere from like, I want to say 500 and up. Again, depending on who she gets. If it's someone who does house calls, that's more money. Especially there's even more exclusive amount of people who do house calls. So it's not cheap. And chances are you're really not doing your own hair.
And if you're doing your own hair, how do you concentrate? I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do this.
Pay attention during the video. Let's see how good she is at it.
I can't straighten my hair and talk.
This sounds more like a buildup of I need more attention and to cause more people looking at me. This sounds like the intro.
Steven, did you not watch the music video? She doesn't want attention.
I had to screenshot it. Yes,
75 time for videos. Folks, Steven, if you're just joining us,
it's right there.
He is the artist behind all of the stuff that we do here at WDW Pro and Valiant Renegade. All right, we'll keep playing. Here we go.
To talk about this, which is that our Star Wars show has been canceled.
Yeah.
And
there's the confirmation.
I'm gonna be transparent and say that it's not a huge shock for me. Of course, I live in the bubble of my own reality, but for those who aren't aware, there has been...
She doesn't live in the bubble of her own reality because she made a music video attacking people who disagreed with her, which means she is definitely not inside that bubble.
A rampage of vitriol that we have faced since the show was even announced, when it was still just a concept.
Okay, so when this show was announced, good frame stop, Pro. When the show was announced, people were unhappy that Leslie Headland, the former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, had been just given the showrunner position and writer position over a Star Wars show when there are literally a million people who are more qualified to do that than Leslie Headland, because she was the personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein. And to my knowledge, she has never disavowed him in a way that would suggest she needs to be in charge of something like this. I don't think it had anything to do with skin color or any of this stuff. Listen, Lorena, I think now, and I mean this, I think Amanda has not yet realized that she is the shield for Leslie Headland. What do you think about that?
You know what? It's weird. If she has, then she's not acknowledging it. But honestly, given the way that the Hollyweird machine runs and how long she's been in it, I'm pretty sure she knows. It's just not politically correct for her to acknowledge that. Because let's put it this way. If Leslie Headland was a straight white woman, she would have thrown that chick under the bus. But she's not. And because Leslie Headland is a member of the Skittles Nation, as I like to call them, she's not going to push back on that. And she's not going to acknowledge that she's the face of Leslie Headland's failure.
Well, Leslie is a member of Skittle Nation, which seems to be the thing that keeps her association with Harvey out of the headlines, because it goes to that instead. Just putting that out there.
No one had even seen it. And that's when we started experiencing a rampage of, I would say, hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol.
Okay, I want to stop this. Thank you for stopping this right here. This whole vitriol and bigotry that she's talking about, okay, yeah, you're going to find a-holes in every population, all right? There's always going to be that small percentage. So no doubt she probably got a small percentages of, messages or whatever that were racist or full of bigotry. However, the majority of the problem with the show was legitimate criticism. So you're meaning to tell me that you are so thin-skinned, and you can't be thin-skinned as an actor, is what fascinates me. You can't handle legit criticism. So now legit criticism is bigotry?
But it is, Lorena. That's the whole thing they've been doing for years now. If you criticize something or give anything negative because they see it as a personal attachment and extension of themselves to the properties, you criticize anything that goes against what their love is for it, you're automatically a bigot, a racist, a phobe, this or that. It's just getting worse and worse. They're taking the power even out of these words with no understanding. I'm sorry for mansplaining. I do apologize.
Could you imagine the likes of Denzel Washington saying legitimate criticism was bigotry? And could you imagine actors? Could you imagine Sidney Poitier in an era of when Hollywood really was racist saying stuff like this?
Imagine Stevie Wonder going, "You don't like my music? Racist." Same thing.
I just struggle to understand how it is that saying, maybe we shouldn't have Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant do this. I just fail to see how that's ultra-conservative. I think that's actually universal. I think even Meryl Streep could agree with us that Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant should not be making a Star Wars show, especially given that she has never fully recanted her former boss. That seems to me to be something that is beyond politics, and this is revisionist history from Amandla. Just my take. Let's continue.
Prejudiced, hatred, and hateful language towards us.
Hateful language.
Why does she associate this with conservatives?
Towards us? No, it was towards the show. The characters, the story. There's a difference. That's a thing, not a person. Oh my God.
They don't see that. They only highlight the ones that actually they have like no profile picture, nothing like this, and they just drop these DMs that we hardly ever saw but claim that exist. And it's a constant reoccurring thing. That's what they got.
And I would just want to clear the air and say, Mandela, we're on your side. We want Acolyte Season 2. We believe it will hasten the demise of Disney, change at Star Wars, and it'll drive a ton of views. We'll get more views than you will, which I think is what YouTube commentators did versus the Acolyte. It was great for the ratings of YouTube. So Season 2, bring it on, Amanda. We're on your side.
And, this really affected me when I first got the job, because it's just not something, even though I anticipated it happening, it's not something you can.
I hope she has a third fan on the left side of the screen that we just can't see, because otherwise it's really throwing off the air ventilation in the home to have two, and she's on this side. I need three for the unity of the room, please. We need the feng shui.
Can fully understand what it feels like until it's happening to you. However, I feel like I've kind of moved through those feelings in various ways, including being vocal about it myself. For me, it just became a situation where there was no option but for me to honor my sense of ethics and my belief system and my value system.
The eye movement that she does there seems to tell me that she doesn't believe what she says. I'm no body language expert, but I've seen women make that face at other women and men, and I know that it means what they're saying is either disingenuous or nefarious. Let's play that back again, okay? Her sense of ethics. Let's just play it one more time.
Honor my sense of ethics and my belief system and my value system.
You see that slight smile she does, where she knows that she's just like this. She knows this is
and she closes her eyes a little bit. Yeah.
One more time for the folks out there.
My sense of ethics and my belief system and my value system, while being in this very unique position. It was kind of like I had this very unique experience of experiencing the world at large, which is, of course, hyper divisive right now, through the lens of this very, very unique opportunity of being in Star Wars. And it brought up a lot for me, a lot socio-political dynamics, a lot about my own value system, how I respond to that kind of hatred.
She seems to think that dislike of someone being associated with a predator and dislike of a show's quality is synonymous with hatred along racial lines towards her. Here's what I think. I think that people like Amandla, that they're not well prepared, and most people are not well prepared to be viewed and seen and heard by the world. It is too big a task for most people. And I think that when these companies put individuals onto the small screen or whatever, and they're impressionable, that they do them a disservice when they lead them into these sorts of artificial confrontations, because the human psyche simply isn't made to handle this degree of spotlight. Like, we were never, in our civilizations for thousands of years, we never had 1 billion people watching us screw up. And I just don't think people know how to handle that. Am I wrong? Erika, what's your thought on that one?
She sounds like a 14-year-old when she's talking.
Well, that's on purpose, though. I think that's part of the victim projection.
Like, oh my gosh. And
Erika, okay. But Erika, remember, now we don't want to get political, but remember who else sounded that way years ago when there was an effort to be very much a victim? Remember the Kavanaugh hearings?
Oh.
Remember Blasey Ford?
Yeah.
Remember that she has a real voice, but when she was doing her testimony,
she sounded like this. And it was,
that's the thing, okay? So she has her real voice. Everybody knows it. She has that voice. I bet Amandla has a real voice. And I don't think, Lorena, do you think, JFG, Stephen, do you think that this is how she actually talks?
No, this is passive. No, this is literally passive aggressive talk to just trigger more people. You can hear it in her, the way she keeps using bitch. She keeps using the same gaslight terms. You hear unique, and in my experience, and it was like this, and then it was vitriol with bigotry, and then I had a cupcake, and then it was vitriol hatred, and I love being in Star Wars, but I'm not going to talk about how I love being in Star Wars because it was a unique bigotry, vitriol experience. My God.
Steven, you're being mean, and you're not paying attention to how much more mahogany that I need inside this room.
It's a big problem here. Man, when a mouth opens, I stop listening.
I would have more respect for her. She just came out and said, "You know what? I can't stand you bigots."
Yeah, exactly. And just say in your own words,
like authentic. This is so just okay. I need to put on a show, so I need to talk in a certain tone of voice, to get my point across. And
Lorraine, if she came out and said, "I know this show sucked, but screw you all anyway," like that, like we would laugh and be like, "You know what? She earned some points."
Exactly. Lisa, be honest. Like, okay, we get it.
The show sucked, and I still hate all of you. And we shake hands and say, "All right, we'll see you at the next thing."
Guys, I have to easy bake oven it for you. Otherwise, I'll get more vitriol and bigotry and get my hair in my closet with 3 fans. Otherwise, it's not symmetrical and problematic.
All right, folks, we're going to let it play a little bit.
Throwing around those words are people like her.
Yes.
No one on this side of the spectrum is using words like that.
No, we're using words
So,
like crazy.
who are you to point the finger, using these words like bigots? And you're the only
We just-
one throwing those words around.
We just didn't want someone who was the personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein to influence a show that's aimed at
Oh,
kids.
they don't care.
I can't
They're
handle
about the
your-
message and the
You got-
agenda.
I can't handle your guys' discourse right now. I really can't. I
Blanket
cannot handle this
discourse. All right.
discourse.
Here we go, folks. We're gonna play a little bit more because we are short on time. Let's get some more content from Amanda.
How I move through the world at large. And it just became inarguable for me at a certain point that
You move through the world in a limousine.
in order to continue to be myself, I would have to honor my value system by being vocal, even within the context of working for Disney and working
Well, you solved that.
within the large, within
she's a
the
Disney
large, massive IP that is Star Wars. On that topic, I just have to say it has been an incredible honor and dream for me to be in this universe.
Hire me back.
Okay, good there. And by
She
the
got
way,
one thing
she
right.
is legit on
She's-
braiding.
She got one thing right. She said it's Disney's Star Wars.
It still feels, even though, of course, I'm very sad about the show being canceled, and I'm sad about us not being able to give people who are invested into it more. I'll just feel a lot of levity and joy around the fact that I got to experience it,
Star Wars.
and that people loved it, and that people were so responsive. I poured through a lot of different iterations of fan.
She slipped into her real voice right then. Everybody listen, this is her.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
slipped into the real voice.
There you
Poured
go.
through a lot of different iterations of fan art and ship art and fan theories and things that were just so beautiful and filled
Wait a
my
minute.
heart
Whoa,
with
whoa, whoa.
joy.
Whoa. Ship
And
theory?
I just want to let those people know out there who
Yes, she
supported
said
us in that
shippers.
way.
Yes, she did.
And
What?
She loves
Ship
the
theories.
shippers.
The ones that place her with other people in relationships. So she like
shippity.
shippity.
supported us vocally, despite and in the face of all of the vitriol that we received and kind of the targeted attack, I would say, we received by the.
You made a terrible show, Amanda. You made a terrible show. What do you want people to do? Like if you serve somebody dog food at a 5-star restaurant, like it's not vitriol if they say I'm not eating it. It's just it just is what it is. Bad quality.
Right. Just that you were deeply loved and appreciated, and it made this job all the worthwhile for me, and it made
Your paycheck made it worthwhile.
all of the challenging elements of it completely worthwhile for me.
Sounds like a vasectomy.
And so that, plus my love of sci-fi and fantasy, and being able to be a part of the legacy of something that I so deeply value, and something that means so much to me, and I've looked up to for so long. So I also just want to say thank you to Lucasfilm. Just everybody that I worked with in Lucasfilm, particularly Rain Roberts, my producer, was just had such like vision and hope and like such a mission for what we were going to continue bringing into the sci-fi universe.
Failed.
Into the Star Wars universe.
I got
And
30.
it was a really beautiful, energizing, life-changing experience to be a part of. And I have to thank Leslie Headland, who just...
And she's using you as a shield.
Yeah.
You're the casting couch of her defense. Don't you know that?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I just fucking love that bitch. She just...
Wow, I don't think she knows.
Excuse my French. She's just one of the best people in the world. I think she's...
So if you think that the former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, who preyed on women, and she was in close proximity, And the documents which were released less than a year ago now date that as being true. And she has never fully recanted Harvey Weinstein. If you think that she's the best person in the world, then I think that you might be a villain. I'm sorry. I think you might be a villain.
So incredibly talented and unique and kind. And I'll love her forever. And I love this experience with
What about Harvey?
her forever.
He's a white cis man. I can't do
But
it.
at the end of the day, I also just want to thank everybody who watched it. Thank you for being.
Finally, you know what? It is about time somebody gave me a thank you for this. Oh, Amanda, you have no idea how much the people on this panel suffered for you. And finally, you say it again, Amanda. Say it again.
At the end of the day, I also just want to thank everybody who watched it.
Amanda, you are so welcome.
Brave.
We did it together. Lorena, we did it together. High five, everybody. High five.
We suffered through it together.
Disney Star Wars is saved.
Thank you for being so loving and supportive and excited and nerdy and awesome. And
I was not excited.
No.
I'll continue to process this for a long time. But maybe the last thing I want to say on the subject is that
I'm fake.
we all exist in the context of all in which we live.
This is malignant narcissism. By the way, if you want a case study in malignant narcissism, she is giving away that she lost nothing. She still is ultra wealthy. She still will be given many more opportunities, and she's laughing at the failure of it all.
I mean, here's what cracks me up.
Lorena,
it's not like it's unheard of for TV shows to get canceled. Actors find out that, you know what, you're out of a job, and we just found out about it on social media or in the Hollywood Reporter. But she acts like she's special.
She is special. Short bus special. I picked up from.
She's been given everything in life. She has absolutely no perspective whatsoever. No perspective. And she loves someone who was in close proximity with absolute evil. So, all right, let's finish it out. Here we go.
Okay, let's do it.
But I'm serious. It's not lost on me how the way that these events have unfolded is also due to the hyper divisiveness of the time that we live in, that is driven, I would say at this point, by echo chambers of thought and algorithms that reinforce our biases. And I think that applies to everybody. But I think that in a particular sect of people, it manifests as a lot of fear for what is changing and a lot of hatred for anything that is other.
Or, women being preyed on by an evil man and a woman nearby that's besties with you, you villainous scumbags.
I love you.
And I would challenge us all and challenge myself to continue questioning what it is that I digest, and think critically about what shapes it. And
as long as it doesn't come from her, it comes from her, we should just take it, right?
Let's vote. Let's vote.
Let's bet.
So, and it all ends with a political, let's go vote.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, let's do it.
Oh my gosh. That's a kid. That is a woman with a 12-year-old's psyche.
She's trying to be an adult and she's failing miserably.
She's mighty maxed up the might.
She's using words I don't think she even knows what they mean. And she hasn't lived long enough to even understand the words that are coming out of her mouth.
I think
she needs to spend a year. She needs to go spend a year in like Cambodia or
Cuba, Venezuela.
China.
Without access to any of her money or anything, and try to figure it out on your own.
Bloc. She needs to see what struggle looks like.
Even closer than that, Just drop her ass in South Central LA. I mean, really. Here's the thing about Los Angeles. It's like mostly what you see on television is like Burbank, or it's WeHo, which is already a cesspool, or you'll see Beverly Hills. That's what people are used to seeing in the beaches. They're not used to seeing, like the barrios in LA. They're not used to seeing South Central in LA, places where people really do have to struggle because of how freaking expensive it is to live there. She has no idea what real struggle is like. So yeah, she doesn't have to go far. She just has to go east of La Brea.
Yeah, Malignant Entitled Narcissism. That is what we just watched.
Can we set up a fund of it? Can we set up a fund for her and just ship her to Chicago for a week? We do all the vlogs she wants.
I want Amanda to do some good things in this world, and she doesn't seem to me to be in the right perspective to do that. And I don't think that she's projecting positivity into the world, and I don't think that she is moving the world into a better direction. So hopefully there will be an epiphany at some point in her future where she can be redeemed from whatever this is, which appears to be laughing at the face of failure and not taking seriously her part in destroying something, and instead gaslighting vast numbers of people to believe that it's all someone else's fault. That's the behavior of a child, but in an adult body with a massive signal that has been given to her. She complains about algorithms and echo chambers. She has been given a huge signal by corporations, and the corporations have a particular agenda that they want, and she is the mouthpiece of those corporations. Didn't work this time, but they'll try and try again. Also, folks, seen 700 of you joining us. We're so happy to have you. And let's get to the super chats that we have ready to go. All right, starting off with Tommy TK. And Tommy TK says to us, please compare this to the Cinderella with Brandy. That's a fantastic point. Talking about Snow White again. It is not lost on me, folks, that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, however long ago it was that Brandy was in the Cinderella movie, that was announced and nobody batted an eye. People were excited about it. And the reason was because the world was in a better place with racial communications and relationships 20 and 30 years ago. And everybody it was just a movie about Cinderella, and Brandy was Cinderella. It wasn't until we got into this woke era that came about sometime in America in the 2010s. It started in France in the 1970s, but it came here, and that is what began this effort of making it all about oppressed and oppressor. And every movie that featured someone had to be about breaking a glass ceiling, and they were all glass ceilings that had been broken 30 years ago. And that's how things are going. But excellent point, Tommy TK. And I enjoyed the Cinderella movie with Brandy in it. It's great. Everybody should go check it out. Even Steven with his googly eyes. The mom for 199, power to the 199, says Sonic is one of 2 successful game movies, Mortal Kombat 1995. Well, Mario, I think, also did pretty darn well. But wahoo! And got to go fast. That Service Dog, member for 10 months, and we're so happy to have you. The Star Wars dress is the bridesmaid special. Oh, no! You're right. It's like when you're asked to be a bridesmaid. It's never happened to me, but if you're a lady and you've been asked to be a bridesmaid, I have my own tailor, and you're like, oh no, oh no. And back for 5. Let's see, a scandala. That's how it's said. A scandala, Stenberg. You'll be remembered about as well as Zegler for being poster children of the entitled cope culture for Hollywood pity parties. That is alliteration, and that is illuminating. Well done. Daniel 89, $2. Huh? She almost sounds disingenuous. How strange. And there's me dropping 5 gifted memberships because, folks, we appreciate you here on this channel. Hopping in with the fun of so many out there who have donated. So kind. Packing Protons 499. I wonder if Snow White makes 10 million opening weekend and 70% drop off Is that enough to oust Bob as CEO? Well, Bob will go when Bob is scheduled to go. Dana Walden will come in. It's all part of a political effort. And Snow White, it'll make more than 10 million. But 100 million, that doesn't look likely. And it could have. It could have an 80% drop. We can't make any determinations until we see the movie. So I always hold that. And folks, if you think that this is an echo chamber, as Stenberg suggested, remember, we gave Inside Out 2 a positive rating. We gave Deadpool and Wolverine an outstanding rating. We gave X-Men 97 a good rating. We call Balls and Strikes echo chambers. This is not. Charge of the Comic, number 2 for 5 Canadians. How much do we want to bet that Disney makes fake troll accounts as part of the marketing budget as their CC for when the show tanks? Well, Master of the TDS has done a fantastic job of tracking that. And by the way, Master of the TDS does not stand for what you would think. It's a reference to fantasy and fiction. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh. Clank Clank, I'm a Tank. First time I've seen that name, and I think it's great. Clank Clank, I'm a Tank. Really great. $5. Can you cut Amanda's voice and replace it with Ric Flair doing his limousine riding, Learjet flying rant? Oh, that would be great. Yes, we need to do that for a meme. We definitely do. Hang tight, folks. Just like you all inspired the Thread is Dead merch over at the Pro Store, you are inspiring yet again. Keely Chow, member for 2 months. Disney Star Wars is not real Star Wars. No, it is not. Staccato DDS back again with 10. Wow, what a great supporter today. What do you think is going on behind the scenes with her and Rachel's PR teams? Are they greenlighting these rants or advising them against these types of episodes? Okay, so that is a great question. I do not think that it is in Amanda's best interest to release either the Blank with Your Discourse rap video or this supposed impromptu commentary on Instagram. I don't think that's in her interest. I don't think that a wise publicist would recommend that to her. I noticed that Zegler has gone silent, and I think that she may have been given someone from Disney who said, we're going to redeem this as best we can, shut up. I don't think that Amanda has the personality for that, and I think she's going a little bit rogue. That will help Amanda have a very niche career path ahead, where she can be in pieces that are intentionally abrasive, but it will cut her out of many of the mainstream projects that she might want to be a part of. Panel, any thoughts on that? Am I wrong anywhere on that?
No.
They're both insufferable.
They're not memorable anymore. We're in that age now where we have actors and actresses that are no longer memorable unless they say something stupid on social media, and then it's gone like a fart in the wind. That this is their legacy. It's continuing.
Well said.
It doesn't make them likable. Yeah.
No.
And again, thank you, Staccato. But there is a market for dislikability. There's a very small market for it.
Yeah,
maybe that's what the play is for. Daniel 89 for 2. God, tell me how desperate you are, Amanda. Please, please. Official Drags for 2. Amanda and Rachel failing. Brett Cooper is winning. We'll see, too, by the way, how that movie, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, will do. No, it's Snow White and the Evil Queen. That's the name of that one, right? Of the Daily Wire one. So we'll see how that does. I'm looking forward to getting some better insight into it. Official Drags for 5. I'd rather spend an hour sniffing gasoline fumes than listening to Amanda, Rachel, and Hollywood. Also, Lorena, Amanda, quote unquote, ain't like us.
Yes, it's true.
No. The mahogany says it all. Let's see here. We've got Tennille back again with 2. This approach works so well for Marie Antoinette. France. Oh, France. David Lodeman, member for 10 months. Please never play something like that again. We pray that we don't have to play something like that again. Perhaps we should have used Sonic 3. We should have played it again afterwards as a palate cleanser. That would have been pleasant. And Jacob Foxfire, 4-5. Killed off religion and made up a new one where nothing is ever your fault. Hey, that's what's that called? I can't recall. Oh, yeah. You're in a cult. It needs to be a song. I need to talk to Floral from Under Rock and see if they can do a song about You're in a Cult. That could be a lot of fun. Folks, it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you. We hope you've enjoyed the Pro Show tonight. We're going to be sending you over to Vacation Radio for the premiere of Labor Day music, 5 new songs, plus songs, all intended to give you a good weekend if you're not a member. If you are a member, and so many of you out there have become members tonight through the generosity of our grand givers of green. I have to remember that one. Grand givers of green, grand givers of green, 3 times fast. Those of you whose names are green, you're going to be joining us over at the Pro Lounge. The rest of you, Vacation Radio. That means a good time to be had by all. We've had a great time. Folks, please go subscribe to Lorena Creole. She's going to be doing live streams of Halloween Horror Nights this weekend. And Lorena, it's always a joy to have you. Stephen, you're doing Rumble, I believe. Can you tell the folks out there about your Rumble streams?
Oh, we're close to 2K on Rumble. We do gaming, we do news, politics. We're starting to put some more streams back on YouTube, so you can catch those. Right now we're doing Black Myth and Star Wars Putty Face Outlaws, because she looks like Putty Face.
Clayface. Stephen, I don't even know how, and this is in the weeds, I don't even know how her face does that in that game. I don't, I have worked in 3D animation before. I don't understand where things went wrong.
Her face goes from normal, and then in some scenes, when she opens her mouth, it turns into a pizza slice, and her chin gets very pointy.
Right, it's not normal. I don't know how that happened. I've seen lots of mistakes. I can't figure out what's happening behind the scenes with the facial skeleton that's making those movements. Anyway,
I'm getting run over by pilotless speeder bikes. Okay, this is how weird this game is.
It looks like they came up with something avant-garde on facial animations that's using some sort of crazy algorithm, and it didn't. Anyway, that's in the weeds. Erika, thank you so much for being a part of the show today. And folks, it's time to get on our way. Lorena, thank you again. Lorena,
thanks for having me.
There we go.
Too much discourse.
Too much discourse. Yeah. Folks, we'll see you real soon. In the meantime, keep learning, keep growing, keep having fun, because we're redirecting to these 2 things. And folks, if you remember, you'll have to go click on the video. But because of that, we're going to end without an outro. So everybody wave. And as we get ready to say goodbye, Stephen,